All right. Hello, everybody, and good evening. Good evening. Welcome back to class. Good evening. Good to see you all. I hope you had a great day. I hope you enjoyed. Your day was great and fruitful. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to class. Today, we want to continue with our program, and today we are going to begin the journey of designing websites. So we are going to be building websites. Today, our projects, we are going to begin. So now we are going to use the actual tools. Yes, good evening. We are going to use the actual tools that we'll be needing for our work, and real work is going to start. So right now, let's be ready to work. We are going to work. For the next few days, we are going to be working. So let's get ready to work. And by the time we are done, we are actually going to build some wonderful things. So let's get ready and let's get a lot done. All right. So to get started, I'm going to share my screen and we will get right into the lesson. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are working hard to make your dreams come true. So let's all work together. Let's all do our part and let's make everything successful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm going to share my screen now and we will get right into the lesson. All right, class. So welcome once again. Welcome to day 11 of our Webmaster class training with WordPress. Today, we are going to continue the second lesson of our module 4. And in this module, we are building websites. All the tools we need, the processes we need to go through, we are going to learn them. And between now and the end of this training, we are going to acquire practical skills to build websites for any organization in the world. All right. Now, creating beautiful websites with powerful features have never been easier in all of history than it is today. To create a website that is professional looking, first, you have to do your best to plan the website. Plan the goals and the purpose of the website on paper. Add a sketch to visualize what you are creating and where important features should be. When professionals are creating websites, they don't first jump onto the computer and start. They first have a plan. They first have a blueprint. Some even go ahead and have a mock-up. You need to know what you want to create, how the vision of the website you want should look like. So do some architectural work first, some planning work first, before you move on to looking for what will help you achieve that. Next, choose a technology. You can design your website from scratch using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Write all the code you want to get your website working. There are frameworks and plugins and libraries that can also help you create special effects and create your website in a more modern way. So go ahead and choose any technology that will help you create your website from scratch. Also, for the backend, you can use a powerful server-side scripting language like PHP, or use Node.js or Python to create your backend. Connect your backend to a database like MySQL or MongoDB. This is what we go through when we are planning professional web applications and websites. However, if you want all the coding and backend stuff done for you, then use a content management system. A content management system, often abbreviated as CMS, It's a tool that helps you build powerful websites without needing to write all the code from scratch or even know how to code at all. Today, with the emergence of AI, there are even AI tools that you can use within CMS and describe what you want, and the website can be created for you. Examples of powerful content management systems include WordPress. We have Drupal, we have Joomla, we have Wix, we have Shopify, Squarespace. WordPress is the world's most popular and powerful CMS with the largest community. As of 2024, WordPress powers approximately 43.5% of all websites on the internet. This means nearly half of all websites that exist are built using WordPress. Imagine that. Even among websites in the CMS industry, WordPress holds even a higher share, commanding 62.7% of the CMS market. WordPress makes creating websites fun and a lot easier. You can make money designing websites. Now that you can register domains, get hosting, set up business emails from the server, or connect to Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace, and now learning how to create websites, you have all the tools you need to create websites for others. So go ahead, create websites for companies, create websites for schools, create websites for NGOs and other organizations, and package yourself as a business. Have a name, have a company name that can go global, a company name that can excel. And today, when you start creating websites one by one, with little drops and with focus, you will end up creating the next big company in your country. Soon, your company will be known and others will be coming to you for business. You can build a company creating websites. So don't wait, start a company. You may be busy today, but still start a company. You may be working somewhere, but still start a company. You can start today. Make sure you brand yourself properly and do business. When you get a client, send invoices, have a letterhead, have a business card, create invoices, create small flyers that you can even share. And before you know it, customers will start coming to you. You can solve a lot of problems you have creating websites. And for all you know, your business will provide all the income you need, and you'll not even need a job again. We are website creators. We are tech people. Let's apply our skills. The time has come for us not just to learn and sit down, but to apply the little we learn. There are a lot of people who know so much, but are not doing anything. Some have been waiting for jobs for a long time, but you can do something. So take the initiative, create websites, build a company, make money. All you need is to get a domain name, get hosting, install WordPress, select a theme. We have premium themes, we have free themes. You can choose one that will be more suitable for you. Go ahead and customize the themes and make the theme your own. By the time you are done customizing, let the end product look good. Let it look professional. Let it look like a website that your client will be proud of. All proving to the world that you are a webmaster. We are webmasters. I am a webmaster and you are a webmaster. Let's apply the skills that we have and let's build more experience. The more you learn, the more experience you get. Okay? The more you work, that's what I actually wanted to say, the more experience you get. That is why after this training, we want you to find someone to build a website for. Find a company in your community, find a school. They are willing. You just need to approach them. There are a lot of schools that do not have websites. Find a company, find a church, find a mosque, find any organization that will want a website and get a client. Let them pay for it. You can charge less just for the sake of starting. You need to have some clients, and these clients will help you build a portfolio. Now that's when you get a portfolio, you can start attracting bigger businesses. It will amaze you the kind of contracts you can get. You can get contracts that can take care of you for 6 months. You can get contracts that can buy you a car. All right. So you can start small, but as you keep building and keep taking care of your customers, you will make it. All right. So let's take action. Let's do something. Let's change Africa. Let's change the world. My name is Darlington, and I'm going to be your instructor for this course. The expert in anything was once a beginner. Anyone who knows how to do anything great today started as a novice. Some people are so talented. When I look at some people and the kind of skills they have, it's going to amaze you. People are so talented. And anyone who is an expert today was once a beginner. There are things today that I just do automatically. I don't even think when I'm doing them. They are part of me. All right. It is because I've been doing it over and over. But when I started, I didn't know those things. I have to, first of all, there are a lot of things that will look like you can't do them. There are a lot of things that, first of all, will appear so grand in your eyes, especially in tech. A lot of things are intimidating. When you hear terms that you are not familiar with, they are very intimidating. When you hear machine learning and you have no idea about it, it is very intimidating. When you hear things, when somebody is talking about Joomla and the Drupal, and you've never experienced it, it's very, very intimidating. A lot of things in tech are intimidating when you have not experienced them. All right. So most things are just like that until you get into them. You hear about Python programming and it sounds so huge in your eyes. You hear about so many things and they sound so huge in your eyes. But when you begin and you get into it, you will grow in it. You'll be an expert. All right. You'll be an expert. You'll be an expert. You see a lot of people writing a lot of code and you wonder how you will get there. But you will. You just need to be committed. You just need to be consistent. Consistency is key. So let's keep on learning. Let's keep on coming to class. Let's keep on doing what we are doing now. What we are doing now is divine. I mean, it's so special. Let's just keep on doing it, and it's going to build a strong momentum that will catapult you into higher heights and change your life. Let's keep doing it. There was a time I didn't think that human beings wrote code. I was seeing code, complex code in JavaScript, and I was seeing a lot of CSS and HTML. And those days, I was wondering whether human beings actually wrote this. I didn't actually believe that human beings wrote code. Until one day, in my very, very first job, I was sitting somewhere, I mean, in the office, and someone came for some work. And the person sat down, opened his laptop. As he was waiting for his job, he was writing code. And he writes the code, he tests it, He doesn't like something, he changes it, he writes more code, he runs it, he checks it, he writes code, he tests it. And I was just watching. I was amazed. I saw someone actually writing real code. At first, I thought you have to copy and paste. All right. You have to copy somewhere and paste, or something will get the code for you. I didn't think that human beings actually wrote all those codes. But I saw someone writing code for the first time, and that really inspired me. It really inspired me, and I said, I will, I will learn this. So I started learning. I was looking at several websites and how they write their code. I'll go to the page source. I'll check how they did certain things, the title, some of the meta tags for SEO, certain things, how they created it. And sometimes I could even see an effect in a website. I'll go to the code and copy the code for all that effect. I'll bring it and customize it and test it alone and see and single that thing out. And it will be working, and I'll put it in something I'm creating. So with time, you will get there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You will get there, all right? You will get there. You hear advanced things, you will also get there. You also be advanced. You see powerful things, you also be powerful, all right? You are on your way to being powerful. Just keep doing it. Just keep learning. Just keep learning. And one thing I've also realized is that work can really affect your studies, all right? Our works are so important. We survive. Our work help us to survive. We depend on our work to run our families, to take care of important things. However, it can take your learning away from you. And if you don't take time, you will spend years at work and you realize that you've not upgraded yourself. It can easily happen to you. Work can overwhelm you and you realize that you've not studied anything. And that is very, very bad. So let's do our best to at least find 1 hour a day and study. At least 1 hour a day and study. Learning helps you. Learning helps you. Learning helps you a lot. And don't let too much busyness destroy that. All right. So what you are looking for, the important things you want to learn, spend some time and learn them. At midnight, special times, just find 1 hour and learn. Okay. For you, you are learning, so you are safe. But I'm just talking to everyone else. And coming to class is learning. So come to class and learn. And I'm just talking about every time. Okay. Every time. So make sure you are learning, make sure you are upgrading yourself. Join courses, do your PhD, do your master's, find a way to combine work and school. Just go through it rigorously, go through it. Find a way to keep learning. As a developer, find some time and keep learning what you want to learn. As a cybersecurity expert, find some time and upgrade yourself. Find some time, do research, learn more, and keep learning and keep learning and keep learning. There are a lot of tools everywhere. Keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, keep learning, and keep learning, keep learning. Let me hear someone says, I will keep learning. I will keep learning. Let me hear someone in the chat says saying I will keep learning. I'll keep learning. Keep learning because learning is good. Learning will help you. Learning will help you advance. Learning will help you. Sometimes there are little drops and you don't see what it is doing, but after a while you see what it has done for you. Okay. So we are going to be learning. We are going to be learning. We are going to be learning. Then we will package our skills and use the package that we have created to attract good jobs and also to do business. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right. So this is module 4, day 11, and we want to go through this program very well. We want to learn everything we need to learn. And today we are going to start with content management system. We've discussed how websites are created. And now we want to look at content management system, and we will focus on WordPress. Then we'll go ahead and go through the process of using WordPress. So to use WordPress, you go through installation process. So we'll learn all the installation processes it takes to use WordPress. We install it. Then we will move on to themes. We will install themes. We'll look at free themes, premium themes, and then we will, once we have them installed, we begin our project. All right, because we are going to use them for the project, so it's all part of the project. So this is the start of our project. All right, so before we get into this lesson, I'm going to play 2 short clips, and after the 2 short clips, we will get right into the lesson. And the first clip is a little long, maybe 6 to 7 minutes, and the second one is very short. So let's pay attention to everything. Everything in that video is very important. That's why I'm sharing with you. So let's pay attention to it, and after that, we get right into the details. Thank you.
What is a CMS and which one should you use? We're talking about it on The Journey. All right, so today we have a special guest, Alicia from Sukuri. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So we're talking about what is a CMS and which one should you use for your website. Can you tell us a little bit about what a CMS is?
So CMS stands for Content Management System, and it's basically an easier way to put pages live on your website or blog posts, manage your image media library, all that kind of stuff.
Awesome. And now let's go over the top 3 CMSs. I'm going to be a little bit biased in this episode. That's my disclaimer right there. I'm going to start with WordPress. WordPress is the most popular content management system out there today. Powers over 1/3 of the internet. It has tons of plugins, tons of options, and it's pretty resourceful. And probably my favorite reason for why I use WordPress is the community behind it. There's such a large community that just comes together. There's meetups, there's WordCamps, and everyone just helps each other out.
For sure. And I mean, with 40,000 plugins almost, like you have no end to the kind of functionality you can add to your CMS.
Absolutely. So what are some other CMSs that we can possibly use?
For sure. Yeah, because everybody's heard of WordPress. So Drupal is another very popular one. It's been described to me as kind of like a Swiss cheese. You need to be a bit more technical to use Drupal, but it does have a lot of different features compared to WordPress. It has a different user experience, and ultimately it's been used for a lot of things like government websites and that kind of thing because of its ability to be a little more secure in some areas.
Yeah, and it's definitely one not for like the smaller business type sites, those enterprise, they're large corporation type sites, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Joomla is another really popular one as well. Okay. It's got a really good community, and it's got, I think, the second highest market share after WordPress, although WordPress is like 30%, and I think like Joomla's like 6%, so just a little bit of a gap there between the top 2, but Joomla is also a really awesome CMS to use. You want to make sure that you're using the most latest version if possible. There are 2 active versions available that you can use. But yeah, you definitely want to stay on the most recent branch of any CMS if possible.
Yeah, that's just a best practice there. All right, let's talk about really figuring out which one should you use, right? Like what are some of the first steps we want to think about?
Definitely you want to make sure that you know what your requirements are for your website. So how easy does it need to be for your users to use? How are you going to go about actually creating posts, and what are the processes that you're going to use as part of that? And then once you have all that, you can kind of look at each CMS and see what are the extensions and themes that are available, and see if they'll match the requirements that you have for your website.
That makes sense. And it all comes down to figuring out what's right for you. Like I will stand by WordPress all day, but WordPress may not be right for your situation. So figuring out those requirements with those applications are super important.
Yeah, and usually a lot of the CMS websites have a great community because they are open source. So
tell us a little about that open source.
Yeah, for sure. So all those top 3 CMSs, they're open source. They're also free, which is very important. Open source basically means that the source code used to build WordPress or Drupal or Joomla Joomla, it's all open and available, and anybody can contribute to it as well.
Right on.
So that just means it's constantly being improved by the community, and the community is also checking to make sure that what's being added is secure.
All right, so we want our website to look good, right? So is that something to think about when we're choosing what platform we use and how easy it is to create those sites?
Totally. So different themes will have different attributes. Like they may have a sidebar on the left or the right, or they may be all one column and a never-ending scrolling website. Different themes will allow you to accomplish maybe what you need by having custom backgrounds or custom menus. So you want to look at the options for your theme, and you also don't want to discount like premium themes. A lot of premium themes out there will add extra functionality. So you're essentially paying for the theme even though the CMS is free.
Right.
That's an awesome option. There's premium plugins as well. Depending on what you need, the default themes that come with it are sometimes a little restrictive. So you want to take a look at what the default themes are, try some different free themes and see what the options are to get your site to look the way you want it to.
Yeah, and what was kind of controversial at first with WordPress in 5.0, remember Gutenberg?
Oh, yeah.
Gutenberg is essentially the new WordPress editor. The whole point is to kind of mirror kind of the printing press of just blocks and everything else.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. So as you're typing...
WYSIWYG.
Yeah, WYSIWYG, thank you.
Yeah. So as you're typing, you see exactly what you would see on the website. So that comes default by WordPress, and it has made the experience, especially for first-time users, easier to create. Then there are page builders like Elementor or Beaver Builder or WP Bakery Builder that makes that user experience a little bit easier. If you're going on the WordPress realm and really want something that's pretty customizable and you don't have to be a web developer or guru to build that website.
For sure. CMSs are having to make things a little easier. There's a lot of different places out there that are creating website builders that are super easy for people to use.
Right.
And so it's helpful for these open source CMSs to make the user experience a little easier.
All right. So another thing we probably have to think about is the hosting requirements we're going to need for our applications. Talk us through a little bit about what that looks like.
For sure. So most of these are running on PHP. So you want the most updated version of PHP, especially if you want the latest features and to make sure that you're getting those security updates.
Yes.
So that's really important. A lot of hosting companies will offer a one-click install for most of these major CMS applications. Some hosting companies, especially when I first started creating websites and I was on a super budget, but also very secure host, it took me a long time. It took me like 3 days to install WordPress, and they have a famous 5-minute install. So you want to look and see and maybe talk to your hosting company about what the options are for getting the CMS installed on your server.
Right, because taking 3 days to get a website going, just the beginning, is not something you want to do. There's a lot of places out there that will do managed hosting, especially with WordPress. There's managed WordPress that has just automatically installed some extra security features. And then what most people end up going with is like a cPanel type hosting, because it does have that one-click install with Installatron or Softaculous, whatever they're using.
Totally.
That couple clicks of a button, and then it's there. You can start building and designing however you want. All right, so the real reason I brought you on to this episode is really talking about security with CMS.
What is WordPress anyway? Back in the day, if you wanted to create a website, you needed to hire a programmer or a web developer to do it for you. This could cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars. WordPress changed all that. Anyone can install this free software in order to build and publish their own website. You don't need to know how to code, and you can launch your site fairly quickly. There are a few reasons people prefer WordPress to other tools out there. You can easily customize the look and layout of your web page, and it offers an almost endless amount of customization features. In fact, there are so many features that some people find it a little overwhelming. Luckily, there are plenty of websites and tutorials designed to help you learn all about WordPress. That's because over 40% of websites have been built using it. Some are for bigger corporations or shopping sites, and some are just small blogs. So whether you're working on something personal or professional, WordPress is a powerful tool you can use to achieve your goals.
GCF Global, creating opportunities for a better life.
All right, so let's create opportunities for a better life. All right, so we are still talking about CMS, and CMS is a tool that allows you to create websites with no code. So it's a no-code website building system that allows you to create websites by just editing and changing things changing colors, changing images, changing logos, and making the website look the way you want it. And we have some popular CMS out there. We have WordPress being number one. Some of these videos are old, so they report 30 something percent, 40 something percent. But as of 2024, 43.5% of websites are using WordPress. There are a lot of websites that are on WordPress. Joomla is another powerful one. We have Drupal, we have Shopify, we have Wix, we have Squarespace, and we have Magento, Tomatocat, and different CMSs out there. The most popular one is WordPress. Now, WordPress is the most widely used CMS in the world, known for its flexibility and ease of use. It started as a blogging platform, but has evolved to support websites of all kinds, from personal blogs to large business sites. Yes, WordPress started as a blog site, and in the past, everyone using WordPress was hosting on WordPress itself. So when you create a website on WordPress, you don't get your own domain. Your name is on WordPress. So if your website is about yourself, your own blog, your domain will look like darlington.wordpress.com. Today, it still exists, but it's not that popular. But then WordPress has evolved into something else, and it supports almost every kind of website. And almost half of the websites online today are built using WordPress. Now, WordPress is best for blogs and news websites, news and magazine sites, websites like BBC, websites like CNN, most popular news websites. And most of the news websites out there are built with WordPress. It is so easy to build a news website with WordPress. It doesn't make sense at all to create all those complex things from scratch. It doesn't make sense at all because a lot goes into it, and WordPress makes it so easy. You can launch a news website in 2 days. Why do you spend 3 months creating it? You can finish it in 2 days and get anything you want, anything you want. So sometimes there's no need reinventing something. It already exists. Just use it. All right. And apply security on it. Make sure you are using the latest update and you have security plugins and other things on it. So WordPress is a good choice for every blog, news type website, and it is very, very good. Also, portfolio sites for creatives and freelancers. If you are a creative or a freelancer and you want to display your portfolio of the kind of things you have done to attract more clients, you can just set up a WordPress site. If you're a designer, you can set up a WordPress site. And not just that, for business websites, professional looking business websites. You know, in our last lesson, we saw some popular um, real estate website. I don't know if you remember. Let me try and fetch it out for you. We saw some popular real estate website, and it's called Belani Homes.ca. So it's a Canadian website. So this powerful website here, let's check if they use WordPress. Later, we will learn certain things that can help you to check if a website was built with WordPress. So I added /WP admin, and what do you see? WordPress. So this site that you are seeing was built with WordPress. I mean, look at what WordPress can do. Look at what WordPress can do. So if you can do this with WordPress, why do you spend time creating it from scratch? There's no reason at all. All right. So unless a client specifically says that you should use a particular technology for their work, those particular clients, they have a lot of experience and they are already tech people and they want you to use specific technologies for their work. That is different. If it is a web application, that is different. You need to build most web applications from scratch. But if it is a website, come on, WordPress has all that you need for your website. So what you need to do is to find out how to build websites using WordPress. Okay, so we go through the learning process, and that is what we are beginning today. Now, WordPress is good for e-commerce sites. So if you have e-commerce sites, you just install WordPress, install your theme, and install a plugin called WooCommerce. WooCommerce. Please type that in the chat for me. WooCommerce. WooCommerce. We only use WooCommerce for any website that has e-commerce or any selling feature. So that shopping cart, that checkout page is controlled by WooCommerce. WooCommerce is the most popular WordPress plugin for e-commerce websites. We call it WooCommerce. All right, so news and magazine sites, come on, WordPress. So most websites fall in these categories, and you just have to use WordPress. So I looked around and I found some popular sites that are running WordPress. Time Magazine runs WordPress. So if you go to Time Magazine, their website, and this is a very popular company, you know that Time Magazine is very big. Their domain is time.com. So time.com, look at the domain they have. Wow. For a company to have a domain that looks like this, then it's serious. So Time Magazine is a magazine site. They use WordPress. This website is WordPress, okay? And there are a lot of small businesses you can get. You see, when it comes to doing business, sometimes you want something that is fast moving. It's not every project that should take you 3 months or 1 month or 2 months. Some businesses, they are fast moving. And this does not mean at all that they are inferior. All right. It allows you to finish fast. All right. So if you are building with WordPress and you build that experience, in 1 month, you can finish 10 jobs. Can you imagine? If the contracts are coming, you can finish 10 jobs in 1 month. That's good. All right. So with WordPress, you can work fast and deliver quality to your clients. At least 4 websites, 5 websites, up to 10 websites you can create in 1 month using WordPress. So this website, if you check the backend /wp.admin, you can see that it is running WordPress. You can see right here. Wow. So Time Magazine is running WordPress. TED blogging site is running WordPress. So I think it's blog.ted.com. It's running WordPress. So this website on a subdomain is running WordPress. You see, it's running WordPress. And the Nigerian Guardian, the Guardian newspaper, is it popular in Nigeria? The Guardian, is it popular in Nigeria? Okay, so the Guardian in Nigeria, I'm asking if it is popular. Let me check my site, my chat, and see if somebody has answered that. Okay, so Israel, it is popular. So let's check if it is using WordPress. And after we check, after we check, I want you to give me another Nigerian website that is very popular in Nigeria. Are we even on Nigeria's? I think it's .ng or something. The Guardian.ng. So the Guardian is a global company. Is it .ng? The Guardian Nigeria. Let me search. I think the Nigeria's Guardian is no, not this. I think it's .ng. That's it. Guardian. Okay, it's Guardian.ng. Okay. So yes. So Guardian.ng. Let's see if they use WordPress. And voila, you see WordPress. This WordPress. Now, I want you to give me any popular websites in Nigeria, any popular news website in Nigeria. So all the Nigerians here, any popular news site in Nigeria, just give me one that comes to mind, and let's see. Any popular news site in Nigeria. All right. Okay, I don't know if my chat is not working. Okay, I just got the punch. So the Punch Nigeria. So it's called Punch NG. So Punch NG, that is it here. And they have beautiful stories. They have beautiful stories. Okay, they are beautiful stories. All right. So let's check if they use WordPress. And voila, they use WordPress. So you can see that a lot of websites are running WordPress, and WordPress is very popular. All right. And so, like I'm saying, there are some types of websites you just need to use WordPress. And designing website for business, you just have to specialize in WordPress because you can do your work very, very fast. Unless your client wants a web application, then that is different. The charge is high, everything that goes into it is high, and it takes time to complete web applications. But for websites and news and these kind of websites, come on, use WordPress. Joomla is a flexible CMS that is more technical than WordPress. So it is more technical. That means you require more skills to use Joomla a little bit. You just have to learn it. But it offers more control and customization options. So it's a little difficult to learn, but once you learn it, you get more control and customization options. And it's perfect for developers building more complex websites. So it's perfect for more technical people. So WordPress is the most popular and the easiest to use. Joomla is number 2 in terms of popularity. In terms of popularity, Joomla is actually number 2, and Joomla is a little difficult. So not for beginners, not beginners per se, but not for non-tech people. All right. So you can learn a little and use Joomla as well. But WordPress is still the most popular one. Joomla is good for corporate sites, company sites, online communities. Good. So Joomla is very good for building community-based websites and for community portals and websites that require membership and membership-based websites. Okay. Government and non-profit websites. For e-learning platforms, you can use Joomla. So Linux.com was created with Joomla. Harvard University's website created with Joomla. Drupal is a highly customizable CMS, of course, customizable. So that means Joomla is highly customizable. You can customize it very well. Popular with developers for building complex, large-scale websites. It's more challenging for beginners, but offers additional functionality for those with technical skills. So that means Drupal is more difficult, but it also gives more flexibility in terms of customization and in terms of functionality. All right. And they are all different. They are all different worlds. You need to get into them and build the learning curve for each one of them. Yes. So they are all different. So the terminologies we use in WordPress, you realize that in Joomla, we use different terminologies, sometimes referring to the same thing. So you have to learn how Joomla works. You have to learn how WordPress works, whichever one you like to use. So even though we are learning WordPress, you can go ahead and use any of them. All right. Drupal is best for governments and municipal websites, enterprise level websites, universities, educational institutions, large community platforms, complex e-commerce websites. So from the video, you realize that Drupal is for kind of more technical, more secure websites like government websites. Example, NASA uses Drupal, Government of Australia uses Drupal, and Drupal is good for advanced and highly secure enterprise websites. And Tesla is just using Drupal, and other popular organizations are using Drupal. All right. So, all right. I want to start by talking about WordPress.com versus WordPress.org. Okay, please put that in the chat for me. I feel like I'm talking to myself. WordPress.com versus WordPress.org. WordPress.com versus WordPress.org. All right. So Olubukola, are you saying there's a new site called Channels? Is it a news website? Channels? Okay. So we have WordPress.com and we have WordPress.org. All right, there are two different things. Now, okay, thank you. Now, when WordPress started, it started as a blogging site and it was hosted on WordPress.com. So a lot of people use WordPress. On those days, everybody used WordPress.com to create free websites. And WordPress.com was free for a very, very long time. So you go to WordPress.com, you create a free page. Just like Facebook is there, you can have your page, your personal page, your business page on Facebook. That's how WordPress started. It started by you creating your website on WordPress. But then it is hosted on WordPress, just like your YouTube channel is on YouTube, your Facebook page is on Facebook, your WordPress site was on WordPress. That's how it was before. And so what happened was that if you create your website on WordPress.com, let me open to WordPress.com. So with WordPress.com, you can build your website on it. And today WordPress is advanced, so a lot of features have been added. But those days, it was quite simple, and I got some sites that are still on WordPress.com. Today, most people are not using WordPress.com, but before, so like this website here, you can see it. If you check the address, you can see that it's the bookwormdreamer.wordpress.com. So this is how WordPress sites were when it started. So your domain will be on it. You design your website on WordPress.com, and you share your link with your community, your customers, your use it for your advertisement. Then WordPress now evolved into you building your own website. So all these websites, you can see that they are on WordPress.com. So what I'm telling you is that WordPress.com is different from WordPress.org. So which one is WordPress.org? WordPress.org is what we are talking about over here. WordPress.org allows you to use the WordPress software, host it on your own hosting server with your own domain name, and build your own website on it. So the WordPress software is a free software you download, put it on your server, and use it. So there's something called WordPress installation. So we are going to install WordPress on our server before we can use it. We do WordPress installation. All right, so we install it and then we go ahead and we use it. All right, so if that is what you want, and of course that's what everybody does today, you go to WordPress.org. So I'm telling you this because one day you may need WordPress and you will go to WordPress.com and you search and search and search, you'll not find WordPress. You'll be wondering, where is WordPress? So I'm telling you that WordPress, the one you know and you are thinking about, is on WordPress.org, not WordPress.com. So on WordPress.org, you can come here and click on Get WordPress. When you click on Get WordPress, you can download WordPress. So the latest version of WordPress now is WordPress 6.6.2. That's the latest version. You have to download it to use it. All right. You can also install it from your cPanel. If you install from your cPanel, cPanel will get it onto your system for you. You don't have to go and download and install. So this leads us to this slide here that gives us the process we go through to use WordPress. All right. So now we have started our focus on WordPress. To use WordPress, the first thing is called WordPress installation. Please put that in the chat for me. WordPress installation. Please put that in the chat for me. WordPress installation. WordPress installation. And you'll learn that there's automatic installation and there's manual installation. The automatic installation is a click to install type of installation. Click to install. All right. So you go to your cPanel, you click, and install. Then the manual installation is when you control the installation yourself. The click to install is designed for non-tech people. The manual installation is for tech people. And when I check, we are the tech people. So for us, we are going to learn the automatic installation and the manual installation because a time will come the auto one will not work or you encounter errors. If you've never gone through the manual installation, you are going to be stuck and your whole idea and plan for building a website will go down the drain because you are stuck. If you don't install WordPress, you can't continue. So you have to install it. So you learn how to do the installation. So what I've actually decided right now, I've not told the morning class yet, is that we are going to do our installation in 3 phases. We will do the automatic installation, we'll learn the manual installation, then we will also do local installation. All right, because you can also install WordPress locally. And once we install our WordPress, we will install a plugin and we will put coming soon on our pages. Then we will do local installation and build our website locally and upload. It's going to be more technical, but it will expose us to a lot of tools and give us more experience. All right. Previously, I planned that we will build it online directly on the server, but then I've changed my mind because of a few things. So we will put a coming soon page and then we will build it locally. After we build it locally, then we'll move it to the server. So we will still install WordPress locally. All right. Now, number 2, after you install WordPress, the second thing is called theme installation. So please type that in the chat for me. You have to install a theme. All right. So now we've gotten to how you build a website with WordPress. First, install WordPress, number 1. Number 2, you need to find a theme. Please put that in the chat for me. To install a theme, we have free themes. You can use hundreds of thousands of free themes that allows you to build websites for several types of use cases. And we also have premium themes. Premium themes are more professional looking themes, more modern themes that allows you to create your website with modern effects to look more modern and more stunning websites. Okay, so free themes are there. You can get a lot of free themes, but most free themes are either old or not modern. Of course, that's old. There are a lot of free themes. Some are really good. Some are really, really good. And if you take time to search and find a free theme, some are really, really good. But as of premium themes, they are more pro looking, more modern, more advanced. And so if you have a premium theme, if you have a premium theme, thank you. Someone says they are not trendy, of course. Yeah, but there are some that are really good. Some are actually trendy, but they are not recommended as the main website for serious businesses. So you can use free themes for simple blogs for a business. For example, our Rita Africa Learn site, we use a free WordPress theme. And there are a lot of free themes that are really, really good. Okay. But the main website, like the website I showed you, this website I showed you, where is it? If you want a free theme for, where's the website I showed you? If you are looking for a free theme for this website, what I'll tell you is that forget it. Forget it. If you think this is a free theme, forget it. Free themes are not like this. Okay, free themes can be very good, but this is a premium theme. So what are premium themes, or what are themes in general? Themes are designs. They are beautiful designs of different layouts and different looks of the site. So this is a theme. But then this is the end product of the theme, because once you have the theme, you customize it. So themes are created to be customized. So the third step is theme customization. Please put that in the chat for me, because we are going to be doing them one by one. Okay, theme customization. So this is where you bring your designing skills in. And by that, we mean changing things, change the logo, change the colors, change the content, and make it look your own. You can change a lot of things. You can change whatever you need to change, but themes, we customize themes for the website to look like ours. If it is a blog site, a news and magazine site, start posting your articles. If you keep on posting and posting your articles, you have your site. And these news websites, they are actually very easy. You see how easy they are. We will build a news website. You see how easy. You can build a news website. It is so easy to build a news website. All right. So the first step is to install a theme. We'll go through the automatic manual. Then, install WordPress, not a theme. Install WordPress. We'll go to automatic, we'll go to manual. Then install a theme. When you install a theme, you activate it and you use it. Then number 3, you customize the theme. And the fourth is the easiest part. What is the fourth one? Please put it in the chat for me. What is the fourth one? After you are done customizing, what is the fourth step? The first step is the easiest. I like that. It says enjoy. So these are the 4 things you need to do to have a website using WordPress. So we will take a short break. Once we return, we will start WordPress installation. So be ready to go to wordpress.org. And if you want to download, start downloading, because we are going to be working together. I don't want to be ahead of you. So start downloading WordPress from wordpress.org, version 6.6.2. And go to your cPanel. Make sure your cPanel is ready. Make sure you are in your cPanel, you are in your file manager, and you are ready. So after the break, we'll begin the WordPress installation. Thank you very much, and I'm going to see you after the short break. All right, class. So welcome back from the short break. It's work time. So let's get to work now. So now we are going to begin with WordPress installation and start the process of building our first project by going through the installation stage. So we will all go to our cPanel and begin from there. So I will show you what to do. Let me open to my cPanel and I'll show you what you will also do. So, all right. Let me get into the cPanel, then I'll share. So please open to your cPanel right now and let's all do this. Open to your cPanel. All right. So this is my cPanel, and we are going to be using a tool called Subtaclos. And you heard Subtaclos in the video. Subtaclos is a tool that allows you to install apps on your server. So there are a lot of apps that Subtaclus allows you to install, hundreds of apps. And when it comes to CMS is one of the easiest things we install in Subtaclus. Now, before we go to Subtaclus to install WordPress, we will actually go first into the file manager, and we are going to delete anything that is in our file manager. And when I say anything, please pay attention and listen to me. You go to your public HTML, not the other directories. Leave everything as it is. In your public HTML, you had some old websites on it. So I have started deleting things. I'm going to use select all here, and I'll single out these two things. I'm going to delete it, and I will explain something to you. I don't want it to go to trash, so I'll skip the trash and delete permanently. And what I'm going to tell you right now is that you have some old website files on your server. Remember when we're in web hosting, we created some sites. I want you to go and create a folder. So let me do the same for you to see. I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to move. Watch what I'm doing. I'm moving them to the public HTML. So I move. So now they'll move here and they'll go there. All right. So we have the old site here. What I mean by the whole old site is that when we were learning HTML and CSS, we created a simple site just to upload and learn how we upload. That is what I'm talking about. So in your public HTML, specifically public HTML, select all and leave only the CGI bin here. But before you do that, okay, before you do that, create a folder so that you move those files in. So go to folder and create old sites. Then you create it. So once that old site is created, this is mine. You go ahead and you use select all from here. Click on select all to select every file. The only thing you single out, hold control on your keyboard and single out CGI bin and old site. So these are the only two things you remove. Hold control and click on the icon, not the name. Click on the icon, it will look like mine. So I've deselected these two after selecting all. Then what I will do now is to move them. So I'll go to move. Now, where do I want to move it to? This time I'm moving it into an existing directory. So I'll type the name of the directory here. So I'm in public HTML. I want to move to old site like this. So you type this over here. If that is the name of the folder you created, if you typed your old site in a different way, put it here. This is the directory or the folder you just created. So whatever the name is, you put it here. I hope you understand. Then you move. So what will happen is that all these files will move into it. So these are the only two things I want to see in your public HTML. If you've done this, please type done in the chat for me. Please type done in the chat for me if you've done this, because we've started working and we are working now. We are working together. So please type done in the chat for me. Thank you so much, Dan. So Emmanuel is done. Solomon is done. Who else is done? Let me get some 5 downs, then we'll continue. So I'm allowing you to move the old files carefully. Don't go and empty your file manager. Be in public HTML specifically, then create a folder, move everything into the folder. Select all, deselect CGI bin and the folder, and then move and indicate the folder and move files. All right, so if you are done, put it in the chat for me. I have 2 people, Emmanuel, Solomon. Well done. Let me get some 3 more. Caleb, of course, Caleb is done. So Caleb, keep advancing, keep learning hard. You are doing very, very well. And also Keep doing great things. Your company, your name looks good and it looks well organized. So keep advancing it and make sure you have professional looking invoices and everything. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's continue. So to continue, I'm going to take you through software clause now. So in your cPanel, look for software clause. Software clause, and that's what we are going to use. Software clause is here. Click on it, software clause apps installer. And once you click on it, you will see WordPress over here. All right. So software clause is not the only, going through software clause is not the only way you can get WordPress. You can get to this page or install WordPress through several other ways. Like over here, you can see WordPress Manager by Software Clause, the same thing. It can take you there directly. Or you can scroll down and you see WordPress Manager by Software Clause here as well. But I want us to go through Software Clause. So once we open to Software Clause, what we are going to see. So I just opened to Software Clause in cPanel. I've not done anything else. You can see that inside Software Clause, you can install WordPress, you can install Joomla, you can install several other things. This particular app here is really nice if you are running a hosting business. It's called the WHMCS for customer support. It allows you to track your customers and their expiry date and all that. It's very, very good. So there are a lot of apps you can install. See, Laravel is here. Laravel is a PHP framework committed to elegance and simplicity. So you can install Laravel. Yeah, you can install so many things. Okay, Clay Bucket is here. Or you can use the categories here. See, you can install a blog. So under blog, you see WordPress here. You can install WordPress. All these are different CMSs you can install. The names are not popular, but they are all apps you can install. You can install Joomla, you can install Drupal. You see Drupal is here. You can install so many things. You can install a forum. All these are apps. All right. So these things are all software you can install and actually customize and use. All right. You can install image galleries from here. You can install wikis. Wow. You can install a social networking code. So these are open source social networking codes that you can install and build your own simple app. It's an ad management software. We have calendars. We have gaming. We have mails. Roundcube. Squirrel Mail. You see, I was talking to you about Squirrel Mail. You can install Squirrel Mail. So if you didn't have Squirrel Mail, I told you the most popular one is Squirrel. You can install it and use. So I think we only had Hot, right? You can come and install your Roundcube and your. Was it Hot that we had or Roundcube? I think we had Roundcube. All right. So you can install any app here, a poll, different things. So as you go through them, you'll be able to install, learn anything you can learn from them. All right. So with time, all these things you can do them later on. Okay. All right. All right. So I just asked you to go to Software Clause. That's all I asked. And in Software Clause, you can install a whole lot. You can even install, wow, a learning management system like Moodle, Camilo. Wow. All these are LMS you can install. Wow. Okay. So there are a lot of things here. PHP admin, SQLite manager. You can install using Subtaclos. So Subtaclos allows you to install a lot of things. Bucket, RSS. Okay. And others. So with Subtaclos, you can actually install applications and use them. Most of them are applications you can install, customize, and use as your website. So what we want to install out of Subtaclos can be found under blogs or portals, CMS, WordPress. So you click on WordPress and you can do your installation. Or the moment we came to Subtaclos, you saw WordPress over there. When we went to Subtaclos, WordPress was right there. So you can just select WordPress from here, install. All right. So for me, I have an older installation. Let me go and look for it and uninstall it. I don't know if it's still there or I have uninstalled it. Let me check. Okay, I think I have uninstalled it. So that's fine. So just click on install wherever you see install and you'll be here. This is where we install WordPress. Now, when you get here, please pay attention now. Over here, you need to choose a protocol to use. Choose this particular one, http://www. Make sure your domain name is here. If you have add-ons on your hosting account, the domain name here may not be the one you are looking for. So click here and make sure you choose the exact domain. If you've created subdomains too, they will show here. If you want to host on your subdomain, you can choose whatever subdomain you want to build your WordPress on. So where you want to build your WordPress is what you select. All right. I am building on this particular website, infosource.com. Infosource is a sister company to Rita Africa, and it's a company that is supporting our mission of Rita Africa. It also provides training to others outside Africa, and it provides paid training, and revenue from that supports the vision and mission of Rita Africa. So I'm going to use it to do my WordPress installation. I've moved the site that was on it. So we'll be using it for WordPress installation. And there's nothing on it now. So after you clear everything from your site now, you should see either a blank and index at the top, or you should see error page like this. If you see this, then it means you have nothing on your website now. SSL is working, everything is working, but there's no design. So now we are going to install WordPress and start building. Another thing you should pay attention to, very, very important, is this part here. This one says in directory. This is super, super important. Most people make mistakes over there. Sometimes when you come here, you see something written here. If something is written here, please clear it. Make sure it is empty. But then this box is also important because sometimes you do not intend to install the website on the WordPress on your main domain. Okay, sometimes you want to install your WordPress on your blog site. This is very important. There are some websites, the main website is not on WordPress, but the blog is a WordPress site. Okay, and so even though there's a link on the main website called blog, when you click on the blog takes you to the WordPress site. And WordPress, listen to me, can be installed in a directory. And WordPress can also be installed in a subdomain. So if you are installing on a subdomain, you choose it from here, from the domain section. If you are installing in a directory like blog, you come here and type the directory name. So over here, you can see the installation URL. So what this means is that the main website is not WordPress, may not be WordPress at all, or maybe it's WordPress, but we are running another installation or an installation for the blog of the website. Some websites are like that. The blog is what is WordPress. So if you are doing that, you put this here. So this is very, very meaningful. This means that the installation we are going to do is not going to the main site. It's going to this directory. So if you come here and you see anything written here like WP, don't leave it here, because if you leave it here, what will happen is that your installation will not work the way you are expecting it to work. When you are done and you go to your website, it's still blank because the installation was done here. This part is very sensitive. Anything you put here means that is where the installation is going. If you make here blank, it means the installation is going to the main site. So this is very good information, something to take note of. Then over here, you choose the version of WordPress you want to install. And over here, we see 6.6.2. When we check, this is the latest version. So always install the latest version, because WordPress is something that is open source, is in the public domain. So everybody knows the code. So experienced hackers, they know the code already. This means that using the latest version enhances security. All right, you can install several security plugins and other things, but it's important to make sure you use latest versions for everything. All right, so this is what we did here. So even though I've said a lot of things, it's very straightforward. Choose the right protocol. Don't choose HTTPS here, please. I know you have HTTPS. Don't choose HTTPS here. Just choose this. If not, it will affect your installation, and where your settings should be saved, it will save as HTTPS. If anything is wrong with your SSL, the site will not show again. But if you choose this and you have HTTPS, it will still redirect your site to the HTTPS. So choose this one, leave this empty, make sure this is your domain, and you are done here. Next, you come to the site settings. This should be the name of your site. So the name of your company should be here. This is what will show on the site title, or will show as the name of the company, all right? Or the name of the project you are working on. We'll be changing this later on. So for now, you can just leave my blog over here. Or let me go ahead and change it. So this is the name of this company. I put it here. Then here should be the site description. Okay. So you put the description of your website, like your tagline or what your company does, or your short tagline. Okay. So for example, InfoSource is a training institution. So I can say number one, trainer. Number one, tech training institution in data analytics, data science, and cybersecurity. All right. So whatever, it should be something short. And please, this can be edited anytime. When you are done with the installation, anytime it can be edited. So you can actually leave this part and as it was. It doesn't matter at all. You can leave it. You can change this. What you cannot, or you can still change, but it's more difficult to change, is the admin account. So at the right side, you see admin account. Right over here, you see admin account. This section is very important. This is where you get access to the admin dashboard. So anytime you install WordPress, you get an admin dashboard, and this is where you set your account details. So here, create your first username, and this should be the admin of the website. And every WordPress website has an administrator and has other content creators. So the content creators, you can choose the privilege or the level of access you give them. But the first one is definitely the admin. So here, leave admin here like this. Then here, your admin password should be here. You can use this key to change. And if you get to whichever one, looks good to you, you just copy it. So just copy it. So this is important. Please copy it and store it somewhere. So this is what I'm going to show you. There are some details that you have to store. All right. There are some details that you have to store. So what I do is that before I create any website, I create a folder for the website where I store sensitive information. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to open to a directory, not drive C. I'm just checking something here. All right, so I'll just use drive D and I'll use projects. And under projects, I will use InfoSource. Okay, I made a mistake. So drive D, projects, like this. Then InfoSource. Okay, www, then InfoSource. Okay. All right, so I'm in. So this is where I want to store it. Please just go to your www folder wherever you have saved it. Okay, it doesn't have to be in any structure, wherever you've saved it. The only thing is that don't let it be on drive C. After drive C, we don't do any development on drive C. I'm sure during your hardware class you heard something about drive C, or well, maybe not. Don't do any development on drive C. Every important thing you are doing should go to your drive D. And if all you have is drive C, when you go to this PC, then create a drive D. Okay, create a drive D. You can create a drive D by partitioning your drive C. All right, I'm not saying go and format your computer. You can still partition your drive C now. All right, so have a www folder and create a folder for the project you are working on. Since we are working on WordPress site, I've created a small folder here called Docs. When you open to Docs, you will see another text file. Let me delete it and create it again. I created a text file, and this text file I called it WP Docs. Okay, so why do I do this? I do this because I create a lot of sites, okay? I create a lot of sites. So there are certain credentials that I may not keep in mind. So you can either use a password manager, or for websites, among the files, just create a file that among your website files, create a folder and a file that you store certain things in for each project so that they are all in the project folder. And this thing, when you are uploading the site, you don't upload it as well. It's only there for future reference. You can use a password manager for it or not. So this thing that I've opened, I'll keep my admin here, and the password I typed, I will keep it here because we will need this password later. If I don't want to use this password, I can also create my own password. Okay, the only thing is that memorizing it for now you can, but if you control hundreds of websites, you are not going to be memorizing all of them. So, all right. So all I'm saying is that you are creating an account now. Put your email here for the admin because you are going to create an account to manage your website. So once you do this, the only thing we've done is to set this part, set this part. This part, you can even leave it. We can do it later. Everything we've done here can be done under 1 minute. Because I'm talking, that's why I've spent a lot of time. Leave everything else and come here and click on install. When you click on install, you watch it install over here. It will keep running and it will install. So installing, 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 installing. So this is what we call the automatic installation. You see, because I've been talking, it has taken time. This can be done in 1 minute. If you know what you are doing, click on Subtitle, select WordPress, click on install, type in the details, make sure you have your password, and done. Once you are done, you see congratulations like this. And over here, you see your domain name here, and you see your admin dashboard URL here. And you can see that every WordPress site, unless you write code to alter it, okay, you can alter this, but by default, So there are some websites, they are built with WordPress, but if you check WP-admin, you will not see it because the developers have altered it because they don't want people to be trying to access it. But 90% of all WordPress sites is 100%, but some people have altered theirs. To go to your admin dashboard, you add WP-admin. Please put this in the chat for me. Very, very important. This is one of the most important things you will never forget, or you should never forget about WordPress. To go to your admin dashboard, you use /WP dash. Look at the dash. WP-admin. After you type your domain name, you type that before you go to your dashboard. Very important. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important. All right. So now, when you click on this, you go to your main site. So you can see that your site is working. This is what we installed. Because I put InfoSource here, you can see that the site is working. So WordPress is installed. And if you click on the second link, or I will not click, I'll type it myself. You can open to a new tab, and you can see that the SSL is working. Even though we didn't select SSL during installation, it's working. You can come here and say WP-admin, and you hit enter, and it will take you to your admin dashboard. Okay, so this is where you type the username and the password you copied. You log in, and voila, here you are. This is your dashboard. That's all. If the computer is yours, you can save. But don't save yet because we'll destroy this installation and we'll do it again. As tech people, we learn two types of installation, the automatic installation and the manual installation. So if you are done with this installation, you can visit your site and see what we saw here, like this. And you can, and actually when you click on this link, it will take you straight to your dashboard. You don't have to log in because I typed it. That is why. Now look at where the site description came. You see the site description came here. You see where it will come? So this is where the site name came. This is where the description came. You see? So you can do that. All right. So if you have your site here and you have your backend here, please put done in the chat for me. If you have this, put done in the chat for me. If you have this, please put done, 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 done. So one person, only one person is done. All right. So this bar here is showing, this bar is showing, this bar is showing because we have logged into the backend. This black bar is something I need to point out to you. See, WordPress has a certain behavior. Okay, so unless you get used to it before you understand. And when you go to Joomla, you realize that Joomla also has its own behavior. So with WordPress, if you have logged into your dashboard and you visit your site, you see this black bar here at the top. It doesn't mean anything. It just means you have logged in. But when people visit your site, for example, if I browse incognito and I go back to here, when other people visit your site, they are not going to see that. And even you, if you log out, you are not going to see that. So that thing, when you see, it means you have logged in and you are ready to work. So only two people are done. I'm happy. Muzi is done. Prosper M. Manja is done. And who else is done? Because after this, we'll go through the manual installation. So let me give you 3 minutes to get here. I want everyone to get here and then we'll continue. And please, everyone should work. Let's all be working because we are working. We've started working, all right? And we are going to be moving forward. So this is a time that if you are behind, you have to find time to catch up because everything we are going to do every day is going to be built upon the previous day. So make sure you are here before we move on. All right. So I installed it without choosing the drive D. Can I uninstall it again? What do you mean by install without choosing drive D? You don't have to choose drive D to install. The drive D, we just went there to create a folder to store the password. That's all. You don't have to choose Drive D for installation. And please, you can install. So wherever we'll get to, make sure the next time you are there before you join the class, because we are going to be building upon it. All right, we are going to be building upon it. So what we've done here is so simple and so straightforward. Just go to your cPanel. You know how to get to your cPanel. Go to Softaclos. You know how to open to Softaclos. The moment you open Softaclos, click on WordPress, install, put in the details, and click install. That's all. This can be done in 1 minute, just 1 minute. All right, so I still have just 4. Can I have one more done? Who else is done? Can I have one more done? Then we'll move on. All right, you are done. Okay, all right. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we have 5 done. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful, we have 5 done. All right. So the next thing we want to do is to go ahead and install it manually. We are going to do what is called manual installation. We are done. We can choose to move on from here, but we have to learn the manual installation because this sometimes may not work. Most times it will work, most times. So you don't have to use a manual method, but there are some servers that do not have Softaclos, and this may not also work. Or later on, something else will go wrong, and you may want to install WordPress or fix the problem. And sometimes you want to install WordPress locally. All of those things, we do them manually. So we'll go through the manual installation. What that means is that we are going to destroy this and then we reinstall it. We are going to destroy this and reinstall it. All right, so let's do that quickly. Let's do that quickly. Let's do that quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. So now I want to show you something before we do that, okay? Inside the file manager, you see, this is what we had before we did the WordPress installation. Now, when I reload, you see the WordPress files. WordPress has specific directories and specific files. Over here, you see WP admin, WP content, WP include. These are very powerful directories and they are always there. So long as you are using WordPress, you always see them. And this is what controls the admin backend, the admin dashboard. This is what controls your images and all the content of your website. This also includes certain PHP files that are very important for your work. If you open to WP content, don't open it, but I'm just telling you, later on, you may have to open it to fix some problem. All your plugins will come here. So when we start working, I'll teach you about plugins. All your themes will come here. This is where all your themes will go to. Every theme you install, it will come to this folder. This means later on, you can install a theme manually by opening to this and installing the theme. Then over here, this is where all your images will come to and anything you upload. Let me go back. Now, when you open to your website, the way WordPress works is this. WordPress has the underlying software and a theme on top of that layer. So underlying WordPress software is at the bottom layer and a theme is on top. So the theme is what you interact with. So what we are seeing here is actually a theme. This theme is a simple one and it's a default theme, but that's what they give you when you install WordPress at first. So I have a default theme. That's why I'm seeing a site. This is a site. It's just a simple site. I can put a lot of content and use it, but I don't want it because they don't intend you to use it actually. They just put it there for you to have something showing. So this is a theme. And usually for the default themes, WordPress usually names them by the years. So this theme is the 2024 theme. So every year they release a theme. So last year we had 2023. 2 years ago we had 2022. So every year they have a default theme. All right. So all the default themes, this is where you see them. I mean, everything you installed and you activate, this is where you see it. And in the directory I showed you in WP content, this is where all your themes are installed. If you open it right now, you see the themes there in folders. All right. So all these files, they are very, very popular files you'll be seeing every time you are working with WordPress. Anytime you look at the WordPress file, this is how they look like. And WordPress is written in PHP. So you see that they are all PHP, PHP, PHP. Before Node.js and Python became popular for web development, PHP was a leading backend programming language. And PHP is fun even today. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. PHP is amazing. So back then, every powerful system was running PHP. Yeah, so WordPress was built back then and built in PHP. Today, PHP is amazing. And the server that is running your website is running on Linux. PHP also works with a server called Apache server. If you've heard of Apache server and you can spell it, please put it in the chat for me. Apache server. So Apache server is what PHP works with. And PHP also works with a database called MySQL. So we'll be using MySQL. So when they ask you for the stack you use for your backend and it's PHP MySQL, that stack is called the LAMP stack, the LAMP stack. So when we say LAMP stack, yesterday we learned about the main stack and the mean stack. You also have the LAMP stack. And the LAMP stack is made up of the L stands for Linux, the A stands for Apache server, the M stands for MySQL, and the P stands for PHP. So this is also a stack. So we have the main stack, we have the mean stack, and we have the LAMP stack. So we already know about the main. If you remember the main stack, please put it in the chat for me. If you remember the main stack, you can put it in the chat for me. As for the mean stack, I'm sure you remember the mean stack. The most popular one is the main stack. So with the mean stack, we have MongoDB, we have Express.js, we have Angular, and Node.js. So the main stack, you know what changes. But the LAMP stack, we have Linux running the OS, Apache server running the server. Then we have MySQL database and PHP server-side scripting language. PHP is wonderful. If you've not experienced PHP, PHP is really wonderful. Yes, so it's fine. And we learned that PHP has also gotten an upgraded framework. Back in the day, Laravel wasn't there, but today we have an upgraded framework for PHP. It's called Laravel. All right, so let's continue. So today we've learned about the LAMP stack. So if you're a PHP developer, you are a LAMP stack developer, but you have to learn the main stack as well. All right. So what I wanted to show you are the WordPress files. So thank you for main stack. The main stack, there's no A. Please edit and remove the A. That will be you are mixing Angular and React. All right. So our main stack, wonderful. R is for React. Okay. So please watch this. These files are very popular and you are going to be seeing them over and over and over. Some of them you are going to be actually working with them. One of the most popular of the WordPress files that you'll be working with all the time is called WP config. Anytime you have a database issue, all your database details are stored in this file, WP config. This is where we edit the database details. Later on, I'll open to it and show you what is inside. Then your index.php is your homepage file. And we have a hidden file called .htaccess. If you've not enabled hidden files, you are not going to see it. Sometimes when you go to settings, you can see that hidden files, some files are important, they are hidden. .htaccess is hidden. but I have enabled hidden files on my machine. So if you've enabled hidden file.htaccess, this file, it contains sensitive code that you don't have to edit. All right. Unless, of course, you're experienced with it and you know how to change things. All right. Now, you see the old folders we had, they are still here. And now all that you see here are the WordPress files. Now we are going to destroy this installation and do it manually. So to destroy this installation, this is what we are going to do. We'll go back to Masterclass and we'll go back to WordPress. So please go to your cPanel, go to WordPress and scroll down. You'll see that there is an installation down here. It's called current installations. You'll see WordPress here. And you see this, the date you installed it and everything, the version. And over here, you are going to see remove. That's what we are going to do. Before you see remove, let me see something else. Before you see remove, all right. So I'm just showing you something here. Okay. So once you come here, you see your WordPress installation. All right. When you come here, I'm just waiting for you. You click on remove. And this remove here is going to tell you something. Are you sure you want to remove this? Because if you remove this, it will remove the directory. That means all the files we saw, it will remove it. WordPress works with a database. If you remove this, the database will also be removed. The database user will also be removed. So are you sure you want to remove? If you are sure, you click on this, remove installation. You can see the database name and the database user. So if you remove this, your database is going, your files are going, everything will be gone. So please do it again. This is what I did. Go back to your cPanel if you are lost. Go and look for Masterclass and you'll find it here. Then look for WordPress. Okay. This time I'll not click on install. I'll click on overview and see. When I click on overview, scroll down and you will see that your WordPress, you can see your website address here. What this means is that you have a current installation. If you have a current installation, you cannot do another installation. So you have to delete the old installation or uninstall it. So if you see this here, move to the far right and click on remove. When I click on remove, you scroll down here and you see everything you are removing. You see everything you are removing, you go ahead and you remove it. So watch this. When I click on remove, it will ask me if I'm sure. If I confirm, it is deleting the installation. If the installation is removed, watch this. The website will go back to the error page. And over here, when I reload this, you can see that all the files are gone. Only .htaccess is here. Click on the .htaccess and actually delete it. If you can't see your .htaccess, enable hidden files from here, show hidden files, save, and then delete your .htaccess file and come back to square one here because we are going to learn square two. All right, second method. Okay, so if you are done with this, please type done in the chat for me. We are going to do the manual installation. Manual installation. Done. One person is done. Emmanuel, you are on course. Wonderful. 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 Who else is done? Let me see. I want everyone to be done before we continue. This one is more technical. We have three dance. Okay. Three dance. I'm still going to give you 3 minutes. Then we'll do the manual installation. We have 4 dance. Okay, one more. I'm waiting for you. Okay. So now that you are done, let's proceed to the manual installation. To do the manual installation, please go straight to wordpress.org, not wordpress.com. Then click on Get WordPress. Then actually go ahead and download WordPress. You see what we did previously, they did it for us. Okay, they did it for us. But now we are doing it ourselves. We are doing it ourselves. So just go and get WordPress. So you see that it is downloading over here. Allow WordPress to download. So we wait for WordPress to download. It is a file that is just 24.9 meg. It's a little slow, but it's still downloading. So you wait for it to download. Because you are going to install the software yourself. And this WordPress software you are downloading, you can use it locally, you can use it on any server. And because I've downloaded it already, it's downloading the second one into another folder with one in parentheses. I miss Python parentheses. Yeah, parentheses, yeah. All right, so it is downloading. So make sure you are also downloading if you've not done that already. I'm sure you have done your download already. I have done mine already, but I still want to do it. That's why I see the one in the folder. So this is version 6.6.2. Later on, when it changes, you'll see that it becomes version 6.6 point whatever they give. And also in your dashboard, you'll be asked to update to the latest version of WordPress. Anytime a new one is released, you'll be asked to update. Remember the importance of updates. Updates are very important. So you update it. All right. So my WordPress is downloaded. Now, if your download is done, just ensure that you know where it is downloaded to. So click on this directory for icon here and just find out where it is downloaded to. Of course, it's in your downloads folder. So let's leave it. After downloading, I leave it. I go back to my cPanel and my file manager, my public HTML. So here, make sure you are in public HTML. Make sure you are in public HTML. Then inside public HTML, click on upload. So over here, you see upload. Click on it. When you click on it, you ensure that where it takes you, it ends with public HTML. So this is where it took me. It ends with public HTML. So now you are going to do your installation. You are going to drop the download here to upload it. So you click on select files, select what you downloaded and open. Then it will upload. So here we are uploading. See how fast it is uploading. This is really fascinating. This is really fascinating. The reason is that WordPress is made up of a lot of files. Let me show you how many files are in WordPress. If you extract this, let me extract it for you to see. If you extract this, watch this. See, when I go to more details, look at the number of files it is extracting. Over 3,000. All right. So if you extract it before uploading, you are going to have a lot of problems. I'm extracting now and I can choose to upload it. If you extract before uploading, that means you are going to be uploading 3,000 files. Now, whether you are using WinSCP or FileZilla or File Manager, uploading 3,000 files will take a long time. No matter how fast your internet is, it's still going to take a long time because there are many files. Because there are many, it will take a long time. That is why they have zipped it. The worst part of this is that there are a lot of folders, more than 100 folders among the 3,000 files. Some of the folders are intertwined, so many. You also know that File Manager cannot upload folders. Every folder you need, you have to create it manually. So if you are using File Manager, let's check the properties here and see. The WordPress contains more than 3,000 files and contains over 300 folders. When are you going to finish creating 300 folders to put this in? It's not possible with File Manager. It's not possible. So you can't upload WordPress with File Manager. It's not possible, number one. With even WinSCP, it will take a long time to do the upload because the files are so many. It doesn't matter the speed of the internet, because of the number alone, it will take a long time. So the best way to upload WordPress is to upload the zip version. Once you upload the zip, you have it. So you go back to File Manager, reload, and make sure you can see your zip here. So this is WordPress in the zip format. So I'm sure you can see your zip now. If you can see your zip, please put yes in the chat for me. We are still inside public HTML. We can see our WordPress zip. Put yes in the chat for me if you can see your zip. If you have done it, you have to reload before you see your zip. If you've done the upload right, and the upload, you make sure the upload is going to public HTML. All right. If your zip is here, then you can go ahead and extract over here. So please click on it. Click on it first, select it first, then click on extract. Then just click extract files and it will extract all of them for you. All right. It will extract all of them for you. If you are done with this, please type done. If you can see what I'm seeing now, click done and let me see how many people have extracted it. I'm sure some of you are already done. So let me see my first done. Make sure you are seeing this before you type your done. So I have my first done, my second done, my third done. All right, so this is really good. Now, I'm going to give you the 10 steps to installing WordPress manually. There are 10 steps to doing the manual installation. As for the automatic one, it's very easy, but the manual one is technical, and there are 10 steps you go through. These 10 steps, I wrote it down somewhere. These are the 10 steps you go through. These are the 10 steps you go through to install WordPress manually. I'm going to share this in the chat. These are the 10 steps you go through to install WordPress manually. So I'm going to put this in the chat so that everyone can see it. So let me go to the chat and I'm going to paste this here and share with you. My mouse is missing again. All right. So what is the first step to installing WordPress manually? The first step is to download WordPress from wordpress.org. That's number one. Number two, upload the downloaded file to your file manager's public HTML folder. Number two, you can use your cPanel file manager, or you can use your WinSCP, any of them, because it is still zipped, okay? So upload the downloaded zip file. Let me put zip here so that you are sure. Because it's zip, WinSCP will also upload it very fast because it's just one. A zip file is one, but it contains a lot. So don't extract it yet, just upload a zip file. After you upload, you can still use your cPanel file manager, or you can still use WinSCP to do the number three. Number three is extract the zip file you uploaded. So this is where we are now. This is where we are now. Now we are going to do number four. Number four says that move the extracted files directly into the public HTML folder. You see how fast it's moving? So the fact that there are 10 steps doesn't mean it to waste time. If you know what you are doing, you can do it very fast. So now that we are here, we are going to move the files. The reason we have to move is this. Look at this. Over here, we are supposed to see the WordPress files directly in the file manager. Remember, I showed you when we went to public HTML, we saw WP includes, WP content, WP admin. We saw all of them in the public HTML, but now we don't see them because they are hidden in this directory here. So we need to open to this directory and I will see them. These are the WordPress files. We are supposed to move them into the public HTML directly. To do that, this is what you do. First, click on select all. Select everything. Don't leave one behind. Select all over here. After everything is selected, come here and move. Click on move. When you click on move, over here, clear the WordPress you see until you see only public HTML. I'm waiting for you. If you have done this, please put down in the chat. Please put down in the chat. If you can clear to see only public HTML, let me see done in the chat. If you can clear this to see only public HTML, put done in the chat. After we finish with this installation, we'll wrap up and we'll close because we've done a lot. I want to give you time and we'll be sharing the video as well. So whatever we'll do, if you missed anything, you can go back and watch it. All right, so if you have your public HTML here, go ahead and click on Move Files. Thank you very much. So I have 3 done. Go ahead and click on Move Files. So when you click on Move Files, you see that the files will move from here. And you can click on up 1 level, then you go back, and you can see that now they are in public HTML. Or you click on public HTML here, and you see that the files are now here. All right. So this is number 4. Let me check number 5. All right. So we are still at number 4. So the only thing I'll add to number 4 is this. Select this WordPress directory where we move the files from, and then go ahead and click on delete. Delete it. Click confirm. That WordPress file, please don't delete any other thing. Any other thing you delete will create a problem. That WordPress folder, just delete that. Any other thing you delete will create a problem. All right. So we will do that. We'll do that. So this is number 4. The moment we are done with number 5, the rest will be fast. And we'll be done and we'll close. In the next lesson, we will continue from where we ended. So we have started our project already. The first step to using WordPress is installation. For the sake of learning, that is why we are doing the installation twice. As a matter of fact, we'll do it 3 times because you have to be used to it. Every time you are installing, you want to use WordPress, you have to install. You can use the automatic installation in Masterclass and be free. This one, we are doing it for the sake of learning. So just follow it and learn it. Learn it or learn this one because you need it. If you don't know this, you can't install locally. You can't install on certain servers. So learn this one as well. It's not every time that you let your hosting company do the installation for you or somebody do the installation for you. You have to do the installation yourself. So every WordPress site, you do your installation. Every WordPress site needs a theme. But the customization of every theme depends on the particular theme. Take note of that. Theme customization can be different for different themes. All right. Okay. Your WordPress still appears. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. You can go ahead and delete this zip file. You can delete it. All right. So please select the zip file and delete it as well. I didn't say you should delete it because we may need it again, but I'm not sure we need it. So just delete the zip file as well. The zip file will always be there. The zip file will always be there. I just deleted mine. All right. If you are done with this, please tell me done and we'll move to step 5. There are 10 steps. Step 5 is the most technical one. So if you are done with this, tell me done. I have just 1 done. Let me see my popular dance. I have 3 dance. 3 more. Then we'll move to step 10, step 5. All right, 2 more. And please make sure you are doing only this. Don't go and do anything else. Anything else you do will create a problem. So just stick to what we are doing till we are done. All right. So step 5 says that create a MySQL database. So we are going to create a MySQL database. Now, where can we create MySQL database? Who knows where we can create MySQL database? Who can tell me where we can create MySQL database? Who can tell me? Just tell me in the chat. Where can we create a MySQL database? It says we should create MySQL database. So I type this in the morning. Where can we create a MySQL database? Who can tell me? Where? Just tell me. Where can we create a MySQL database? Okay, in the cPanel. Thank you, Ashinafi. That's right on point. All right, so go back to where your subtitles is. That's your cPanel, and click on CP. CP means go to control panel. Click on this CP here, and it will take you to your control panel. Once you get to your control panel, or just log into your control panel however you want. Once you get into control panel, look for MySQL database. MySQL database, that's it right here. Look for MySQL database, that's it, this one. MySQL database. This is a LAMP stack. You work with MySQL. All right, if you see MySQL database, it means you are almost there. Click on it, and we'll be creating some databases. I have some old database, so just give me a minute. Let me go and delete them. I'm just destroying my old databases. You don't have to destroy any database because databases contain sensitive data. So please don't be someone who just deletes database like that. All right. So I've cleared all my databases here. Now we are going to create our database. So please watch this. To create a database, over here you type the name of the database you want to create. But something will be prepended, not appended. Something will precede it. So leave that and come here and type the name of the database. The database I want us to create now, let's call it admin DB. Type it the same way I have typed it. When you are finished, click on create database. And when you create a database, this username will precede it. And the two will now become the name of the database. The database name will no longer be admin DB. It will be this one concatenated with admin DB. So do this and click on create. If you are done, put done in the chat. No, put 5 in the chat for me. This is step 5. Put 5 in the chat for me. Let me know if you are done creating your admin DB. So I have just 5. Put 5 in the database if you are done with creating your database, admin DB. No, don't type it. Don't type 5. Just give me number 5. Emmanuel, it's okay. It's okay. That's good. It means you are following. All right. So I'm also going to click on create and my database will be created. Please, the information you see here is very sensitive. Highlight this carefully. Please, if you are watching this video, highlight this, whatever is in this quote. Highlight it carefully and copy it. Don't highlight only admin DB. The name of the database begins from here. Please don't forget this. Never forget this. Highlight everything you see here and copy it. After copying it, go and store it somewhere. I remember creating some WP docs file. Go to that place and go and store it, or just open to Notepad and paste it somewhere. This becomes the name of your DB. Paste it somewhere, please. Very important. Paste this somewhere. Paste it somewhere. Paste this somewhere. All right. If you are done pasting it somewhere, if you are done pasting it somewhere, type done in the chat for me. See, this is important. Copy the database name and store it somewhere. Vusi is done. Who else is done? Prosper is done. Emmanuel is done. I'm waiting for my two other dans. Copy the database name. Just open to Notepad. Don't use Microsoft Word. Just open to Notepad and save it. Okay. My other dans, where are you? Who else is done? Just copy the name and store it somewhere. Caleb is done. I was waiting for you. I'm waiting for one more done. Who is my next done? All right. So if you are done, click on go back to take you back to MySQL database. Click on go back to take you to MySQL database. We are done with step 5. I'm waiting for my last done. Let's go and read step 6. Step 6 says that create a database user. You have to understand that databases needs a user name and password to create a connection. Anytime you use database on the web, there are 3 credentials you provide, or 4. The first one is a database name. The second one is a database username. This username is not a person. It is just the user credential. So you create a database username, you have a database password, then you have a database host. Most of the time, the host is localhost, unless the database is hosted on a different server. Please listen to me. Everything I'm saying here is important. If your database is hosted on a different server other than the main server, you see, I told you that your main server is a file server, it's a database server, it's also an email server. So if your database server is the same server, you type localhost as your host. If it's a different server, you type the IP address of the different server as the host. All right. So step 6 here, we are going to create a user. All right. So let's go through that and create a user. On this same page, scroll down till you get to database users. Here, we are going to create a user. The user we are going to create will also be prepended with the username of the server. So the user we are going to create, let's call him admin. Just type admin here. Admin. Just type admin. Just type admin. Just scroll down, find add new user section, type admin for username. When it comes to password, don't ever type a password for a database. Don't ever type a password for a database. Why? And how should you get your password? Get your password with a password generator. Go through anyone you like, highlight and copy it. Then click on I have copied and use password. If you have done this, go back to the same text file and press enter twice and paste it. Leave a space in the middle for the username. Paste the password. Now, why shouldn't you create a password for a database? What is a why? The why is that databases are very sensitive. If somebody is trying to hack your website, what they are looking for is a database. Don't ever use a weak password. Don't type a password, because any password you type will not be as complex and as secured as the one generated. So generate a password for a database every time. And don't worry about remembering. You don't have to remember. You just have to put the credentials in your code and it will connect to your database. It will connect to your database. All right, so database passwords, we don't remember, we don't memorize them, we don't type them when we need them. We put them in the code to allow the database to get connected through a user account. All right, so if you are done with this, click on create user. Remember, you store the password. If you store the password, then you are on course. If not, you are not. Then come here and copy the database username. Please watch this carefully. The username of database is no longer admin. It begins with the username of the server underscore the admin. If you are watching this video, highlight everything here from whatever is in the quotes from the beginning to the end inside the quotes. Then copy this and please store this somewhere. Go to the same place in the middle here where I ask you to leave a space and paste it here. So these 3 things, you will need them. So if you are done with this, please put 6 in the chat for me. Please put 6 in the chat if you are done with this. If you have copied and you have pasted somewhere. Use Notepad, don't use Word. Word is a rich text editor and it changes formatting and stuff. All right, so I have 2, 6. I'm waiting for 3 more 6. 3, 6, 6. So who else is done? You created your database user. Again, databases have usernames, all right? These usernames are important to allow the server to connect to the database or to create a database connection. So who is my next 6? Will be done soon. Okay, if Wusi is done, who else is done? If you are done, click back. Then we'll do the 7, number 7. This number 7 as at 2020, only 5 people were good at number 7. As at 2020, only 5 people were good at number 7. And when COVID came in 2020, 4 of them died. So only 1 person was good at number 7. So the 5 people included me. So 4 people died in 2020 because of COVID. So only 1 person was good at number 7 because most people forget the number 7. But I'm going to show you so that you don't forget. Number 7 is this. Number 7 is this. You are going to add the user to the database and assign privileges to the user. You see, when you are creating databases, you need to assign privileges. Most people forget this. After they create a database and they create a username, they think they are done. You are not done. You have to go and add the user to the database and assign privileges. That's number 7. Most people forget that one. So I'm telling you, and I'm telling you a story so that you don't forget it. All right, so let's go down again. Scroll down, down, down till you see add user to database. This is what I'm talking about. Over here, there are a few checks to do. Ensure that the username is a username you created because there may be several usernames on the system on the same account. So ensure that the username is the one you just created. And the database is the one you just created because there may be several other databases created. So if what you see here are not what you just created, scroll through and select what you just created. For me, this is what I just created. The database is also right. If you see this, click on add. After you click on add, come here and click on all privileges. When I click on all privileges, it will select all the privileges here. If you can see all the privileges selected, click on make changes and it will make changes. This is what people forget, number 7. And if you have done the make changes and you see success here, please put 7 in the chat for me. Please put 7 in the chat for me. Remember, we have started working, so we are working now. So make sure you follow. If you miss anything, try and catch up. If you miss anything, watch the video before you get to class. We'll do our best to upload the videos faster. Now, these are privileges you assign. This means that anytime a user is created for a database, the user is given privileges. For example, you can delete a database. You can create a new one. You can drop it. Drop means to drop a table or to drop a database. You can insert into your database. You can do select, means you can run queries. All right. So these are privileges you assign to the user. So if I have a user and I don't want a user to be able to delete a database, I can come here and remove this and save it. This means that user cannot delete. If I don't want the user to do the update query, I can remove this. All right, so don't forget this step. Remember the automatic installation, they did all this for you automatically. So with the manual installation, you are doing it yourself. Let's check number 8. Number 8 says, run the website in the URL. This means that open to a new tab and type your domain name. and try visiting your site, you are going to see this. If you see this, then you are on point. So open to your website in a browser, and you are going to see something like this. This is where the installation begins. We'll be done very, very soon. I'll be ending it after this. So please make sure you can see this. If you can see this, tell me done in the chat, then we'll continue. Don't type 8 yet. We are not done with 8. Type done in the chat. Done. All right. So I have one done. One done. Who else is done? Just open your site in a browser. So 2 downs. Okay. That means you are following 3 downs. All right. So please forget about every language and choose English. English is already selected. English US, leave it. And go down and click on continue. If you click on continue, you are going to see this page where they ask you to provide your database details. I told you that there are 4 very important database details you always provide anytime you are doing a DB connection. First, you'll be entering your database name, the database username, database password, and the database host. WordPress wants you to add a prefix. Usually they give it to you, so it's not important. But for every other database connection you'll be doing on the web, you'll be providing these 4 details. For the host, it's always localhost because most of the time you are dealing with the same server. But then I have worked with servers that the database is different from that server. So the host is the IP of the server hosting the database. I'm telling you this, maybe it will take you 5 years before you need it. But you remember that I said it 5 years ago, which is today. All right. If you see this, just click on let's go. Click on let's go. And over here, you need to input the details I asked you to store somewhere. Remember, I asked you to store some details. This is where you input them. So go to the files. This thing is disturbing. Go to the where you store the details. So this is a database name. Please copy it, paste it here. Then this is the username. Copy the whole thing, not just admin, and paste it here under username. See what I pasted, the whole thing. Then copy the password, the whole thing, and paste it here. Then for the host, localhost is already there, leave it. WP underscore is for the prefix, leave it. So you are only entering the first 3. Leave the host, leave the prefix. If you have this, put 8 in the chat. If you have this and you have entered them, correctly, put 8 in the chat. If you have entered them correctly, put 8 in the chat. Remember, we stored the details somewhere. Bring them here and paste them. If you have pasted them, put 8 in the chat. We are still working. One person is done. I have 1 8. I need some more 8s. Who else is giving me my next 8? I have 2 8s. Who else is giving me my next 8? We are learning now. We are working. All right. Now, click on submit. And when you click on submit, you will see run the installation. You see run the installation. So please, if yours is run the installation, put done in the chat for me. If yours is run the installation, put done in the chat for me whilst I check number 9. Number 9 says enter your site title. Okay, that's where we are going next. Enter your site title and create your dashboard username and password. All right. So 1 done. If you can see this page, put done. All right. So I have 2 downs. I need 3 more downs. If you can see this page. If you don't see this page, it means the details you entered for the database, you made a mistake somewhere. Or you didn't assign the privileges. What I said, people forget. Then you also forgot it. So since everyone is working and everything is correct, click on run the installation and you see this page. Over here, put the site title. Remember the first time when we're doing the automatic installation, I put the site title like this. Type the name of the company here or the title of the site. So with this one, this title refers to what will show in the address bar. So it includes the site name and the description. So you can type all. So here I can say this number 1 tech trainer in data analytics. data science, software engineering, cloud, DevOps. All right, so just type something like this in the title, and you can do this later, so you can even forget about it. What is important here are the username and password. So here, type admin, only admin. Then here, create a password. This password, don't tell anybody. Create it. Create a password. So I'm going to create a password. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to create this code. All right, if you forget this password, you're in trouble. This password, you can put it in your WP docs. It's similar to what I showed you before. You see, at first, what we start here is the same thing. So you can do that, okay? You can change it later. It's just complex and technical to change it, but I'll show you if you ever need to change. But don't forget it. I think I've forgotten what I used. Let me type it again. All right. So just type username and password here. This is what you use to go to your admin dashboard. All right. Remember, this is not the automatic installation. All right. So type a password here. We are almost done. We should be done in less than 5 minutes. All right. Then click on confirm use of weak password. Whatever password you type, click on confirm use of weak password and put your admin email address here. Just put your email address here. And please, this thing, don't ever click on it unless you are building a site that you don't want search engines to find. So if you are building a site that is supposed to be behind search engines shouldn't find it, then you click on that. But of course, we want search engine to find this because it can bring you a lot of business. So don't ever click on this. So this thing, don't click on it. All right. All right. All right. If you have entered everything here, put 9 in the chat for me. If you have entered everything here, put 9 in the chat for me. If you have entered everything, put 9 in the chat for me. If you have entered everything, put 9 in the chat for me. And let me see the first person who has entered everything. Vuzi has entered everything. Caleb has entered everything. And Emmanuel, you guys, yeah, following. All right. So now click on install WordPress and your WordPress will show. Now you see success. If you see success here, means you're on point. Now that you see success, click on login and here enter your admin username and your password. This is a password I said I was going to tell everyone. If the machine is yours, click on remember me and then log in. If you log in, you will see your dashboard. If you see your dashboard, now type 10 in the chat. We are done. Go to your site and check. And you see that it's working. It's working. It's working. I'm checking something in the source code just to check. All right, that's okay. All right, so it's working. All right. Every other thing can be customized later on. So whether you put a site name or description, doesn't matter. If you can see this, it's working. The site name, actually, I should have just put info source alone. For the description or the tagline, I could have done it later on. Because this is supposed to be my logo. It doesn't matter. It will all help in search engine. So I made it descriptive here for search engines. So we are done. If you can see your dashboard, put 10. I have only 2 people done. I have only 2 done. 2 done. All right. So please go through it. If you made something, take your time and fix it. We'll upload the video. When you get a video, make sure you go through the video and you fix it, tomorrow you should be here. Please, if you are not here, then you are going to be behind. Whatever you do tomorrow, make sure you are here before. Sorry for not sending the hardware link during the day. We're too busy today. We will send the link to you. So once you get a link, you take that test and make sure you are here tomorrow. If you have difficulty, contact Caleb. Caleb will help you. The more you help someone, the more you know more, okay? So make sure you are here tomorrow and we will continue from here. Please go to LinkedIn and put a good comment under our latest post about our AWS startup. And also click on the link and upvote Rate Africa. And we are all working together to succeed and to take you to the top. And we are working very hard to make sure everything comes true. So let's all do our part. Let's all do our part. Let's work together. Let's all promote the vision. Let's all let the Rita Africa light shine and let it be a true vision that people can come to for solution. People can come here and they'll have solution. People can come here and learn for real and go out there and do exploits. And we want our programs to be exactly as we have said to you. You come and you learn and learn and learn and learn. Go to LinkedIn, put a good comment, go to the link and upvote, and let's move forward. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening and see you in the next class. Bye-bye.